Well, my hat's off to all you guys that have the patience to endure a car restoration for more than 2 years. Because apparently I just hit a point where I have to be done and I do crazy things. Like that. Spray painted it green. Right over the epoxy primer. I'm kidding. It's photoshopped. But I was seriously considering some very radical things this week and my insanity. I am ready to be done with this for now. Get it on the road, drive it. So we got a list of things we got to get done, and we'll go over what I did this week and what the car actually looks like. Yeah, we're gonna start with all the panels. I just finished up priming, and we'll finally get to see what it looks like fully assembled. And then there's just a few other remaining small tasks we got to do, but before long we should have this thing on the road. So let's jump into it. So we're gonna start reassembly with the back end because I don't feel like dealing with the fenders tonight, which means I gotta pull the car forward. So let's just see if she's still running good and not giving me fits. That is a win. That'll be good enough. Oh man, look out. So the first order of business here, to install this rear valance panel, I need clips. This is the original valance panel, and these are the clips. You basically pinch, put that nail head into that groove, and slide it into place, and it locks in place. Now, I'm not going to reuse these clips and bolts because they're in such bad condition. In fact, this one is snapped off. So what I'm going to do is make my own. I picked up this bag of nuts and bolts at Walmart. This was 97 cents. All right, so if we just take one bolt and one nut, thread a nut on there, almost to the end, and we can play around with that. I should be able to, yeah, pop that in. And then once I'm happy with that fitment, I'll just tack that bolt. Now these bolts themselves might actually be too long to allow me to rotate the tail panel up into these holes, but we're gonna try it. All right, so we got that installed. Now I'll be the first to tell you that with this aftermarket valance that I bought, there's going to be some fine tuning I have to do whenever it comes down to the third phase of this project, when I really go into getting this thing looking good, because there is a gap there. That's fine. Let's just keep moving and get that bumper on. All right, well, there you have it, guys. Back end is about finished. Final look anyway for now. Still got to get the reverse lights in, the backup lights. It's not perfect, but definitely not bad for someone that's been learning as I go. That's pretty much the entire back half of the car has been rebuilt. For my first serious project car, I'm calling this a major win. I need to get it further up against this, and I want to get it a little further back here. It needs to go in. So it's just going to be a matter of playing around with all this. The bodywork is far from done on this car. We're just trying to get it together so we can get it inspected, drive it, and enjoy it. Down here, this should be shimmed to bring this out a little more with that line, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. So I'm going to move to the front alignment with the hood, and we'll get that where we want it, and then we'll put the rest of the bolts in, and we will bolt it. I think there's 2 bolts to bolt it to the core support. Not sure yet. All right, so this bolt is in now, and that hood gap is pretty good. One thing that is going on, and I knew this was going on, is the hood on this side sits low. Over there it's about where it should be. The only way I can think to remedy that is to move the bottom of that hinge, move this hinge up, but it doesn't look like it has much more room to go up. The other thing is I'm not sure why it's doing that, because it didn't do that initially, I don't think, before I took it off the car. So I don't know how much attention I'm going to give that. I'm going to mess around with it now, and I'll let you know what I figure out, what I decide. Side note, on the inside of these CJ Pony Parts aftermarket fenders, where this side clip goes, now it goes on the other way, it goes through. This bolt actually goes on this way, but I'm just showing you this the square bottom of this bolt is just a little too wide. They make these a little too narrow, so you just got to get in there with a flat file and go back and forth on each side, and then it'll go in lickety split. All right guys, it's been a few days. I haven't gotten much done. Been thinking about this, and these gaps are driving me nuts, especially that one. But these fenders should go over more, I believe. And I just can't deal with this. I'm gonna try to at least get this a little bit better. So I'm gonna rip the front end off, go back to turn off the fenders, and see if I can remedy some of this stuff. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay, so long story short, lining these panels up and doing all this work is not the most exciting stuff, and basically I did it all off camera because it was a very slow, long grind this week. I didn't get a lot of time to do anything, and in the few hours that I did have, I got it done. So let's just take a look at what the Iron 6 looks like now that it is about 98% complete. It's honestly kind of hard to get a good look at it in this sun with all the contrast and the fact that it's black. It looks all right. Overall, I'm happy with it for now. I'll be honest, I think that at the very least, I'm gonna need to get some bigger tires for it. These gaps, yeah, it was a fight. And the gaps in the fenders, that's about as best as I can get them, and that obviously isn't fantastic. And I did have people tell me when I got these aftermarket fenders that I was gonna have gapping issues at the doors. Before I actually bolted them on, it seemed like it was gonna be okay, but I think the end game is gonna have to be repairing the original fenders that I have if I want these gaps to look good. But for driving purposes and cruising around in this, it'll be just fine. The bumpers turned out pretty good. There's a little bit of pitting, but they look significantly better, and at least as far as I'm concerned, I think they look a lot better in the epoxy, so it's kind of like a matte black. There are some areas like right here I missed with the epoxy. I'm not going to worry about that stuff right now. And I chose to remove the Mustang emblem and grill divider bar from the grill and just leave it plain. Headlights are in, they are now working. The back bumper turned out really good too. I'm really happy with the back bumper. I know I didn't cover welding these nuts for the rear valance panel. That's because I didn't do it yet. They're just held in there right now. I'm gonna have to make the clips that they screw into, and I still need to tack the nuts. But for purposes of just getting it together so I could see the final look, you know, I left it like that for now, but I'll get to it. A few remaining things I need to do. I need to get the trim back on the windows, the back and front windows. I'm not gonna put the trim on the gutters yet. I don't know if I will put it back on. And I still need to get the reverse lights on and the front lights up front on. The inside, you guys know, is finished. So it's come a long way. I do need to deal with putting in, I'm gonna make my own insulation separator underneath here to keep the extra noise from the trunk coming up into the car. I'm also going to be putting insulation in here since I don't have the headliner on, because there's a cavity there that goes down into the trunk. And I still need to hook up my neutral safety switch and my rear reverse lights. In all honesty, the car does not look quite as good as I'd hoped, and I think that's mainly due to the wheels and tires. I think if I had a better set of rims on there and some bigger tires, even if I just got bigger tires on it, it would look better. But right now it's got that matchbox car look with the small wheels and tires. Again, I really think it's the tires, if I'm being honest. In short, I think a wheel upgrade and tire upgrade would make a significant difference. But she does seem to be running okay, so why don't we just take her down the old street again and turn around down there at the church and see if we can do it without stalling out and getting stuck. And if she does, well, I guess I'll just be walking. I suppose I gotta try this at some point. I'm trying to find the best place to stick you guys. Right there, maybe? I don't know. Guess you guys can look at me. Ooh, got that parking brake on. You guys can hear all that rattling in the trunk. So I want to get, like I said, I think I just want to get like 2-inch foam core board and cut out a section, and I'll figure out a way to attach it up underneath where the speakers and everything mount in the back package tray there, and that should help keep a lot of this noise out. She's definitely running a lot better now that I ripped that carburetor apart and gave it a really good clean, thorough, thorough cleaning. Before I did that, when I was backing up in the driveway and stuff, a lot of times it would hesitate. And I think again, it was just an issue getting fuel. And I don't know if it was, I thought it might've been the fuel pump. Maybe it's because I was on a slant, but yeah, I have a lot more confidence in it now. Like even before on that little incline I was on right there. Here's some noise. Definitely gonna have to give it a good look over, but even on that incline back there, I would get a little nervous pulling up on it just because I didn't want to stall out. Same thing with the driveway here. But just coasting, she's idling good. Going into the driveway, seems to be no hesitation. Running much better. See where she's idling at now. Idling a little fast, but we'll get all the kinks worked out in it. Took a while to get another video out and it wasn't much content, sorry about that, but doing the best I can. So I don't know what's going to be in the next video, how far we're going to get, what we're going to do. I appreciate all you guys that have subscribed from the very beginning and have been following this ride. You guys have been awesome. Appreciate all you guys that have tagged on over the last couple of years. It's been awesome. You guys have been very motivating. And we are almost there. So until the next episode, guys, stay driven.